Okay, the Democratic is going to put Trump in a bad light. Here it is, NBC News. Almost everything went wrong. SEALs, U.S. girl dies in first Trump-era military raid. This is propaganda right here. This is from the Democrats. They're going to try to make Trump look bad because of this happening. Trump was not at the place. He just gave it a green light for a go. But this is how the Democrats, like NBC, drum up fake news saying that it's Trump's fault and everything. But I'm going to tell you something else. Here's another part that they're pushing on the Democrats. U.S. girl dies. Who is her dad? Her dad is an Al Qaeda fighter. So I'm going to play this video right here, and I want you to see how hard they're pushing this Trump thing. Oh, it's Trump's fault. But yet, her dad is Al Qaeda, and he was here in the United States in New Mexico. Now, Donald Trump's been saying he wants to vent all the Muslims and stuff that has been coming in. That's because we got an Al Qaeda that was here in New Mexico. So, let's get back to this video right here, shall we? Okay. And I want you to see how hard they push this about Trump. Let's go to it.
Warning about the first military raid carried out under President Trump. 2 Americans were killed in Sunday's operation. It took place in Yemen. The Defense Department identifies one of them as a member of SEAL Team 6, 36-year-old William Ryan Owens of Illinois. A senior military official identifies the other as an 8-year-old Noura al-Awlaki, that is the daughter of Anwar al-Awlaki, an Al Qaeda leader killed in the U.S. strikes 5 years ago. NBC's Hans Nichols joins us now. And Hans, as we understand it, the plan for this operation started under the previous administration, but it was eventually carried out under this administration. What do we know about this operation?
And Cameron, it was authorized by President Trump. That much we know. And we want to be really
Just
careful on some of these numbers because it's always difficult reporting the two sides of the story. Here's what the Pentagon is saying. We have confirmed from a senior military official that the 8-year-old American was killed. Her grandfather is also speaking to NBC, confirming that. Now, what the U.S. side says is that 3 Americans were wounded when they made this raid on this compound. 1 was killed. And then later, they had an Osprey fixed-wing rotor aircraft come in. These are the helicopters. That had a hard landing, and then you had 3 more wounded. Here's how the White House is couching all this. Sean Spicer, speaking yesterday, said it was a success.
We carried out a very successful raid against Al Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, which resulted in the death of an estimated 14 AQAP members and the capture of important intelligence that will better enable us to counter and prevent future terrorist plots.
Cameron, what else we know is that the reason why they did a raid with SEAL Team 6 or with special operators, commandos, however you want to talk to them, is because they wanted to gather and capture that intelligence. Otherwise, this is what usually gets done by drone, if the intent was actually to kill militants. What they're also saying is the Pentagon is that some of the militants that fired on them with small arm fires were females, and that's why they're saying that some of the civilian casualties, which on the Yemeni side, they're saying as high as 60, 59, 60, that could be inflating some of those numbers. But again, first authorization from President Trump, but started under the previous administration. And remember, even the last 5 days of Obama's presidency, there was a raid in Libya, which killed 100. There was a raid in Syria. These were airstrikes, killed close to 80, and then also drone strikes in Yemen. So don't think of this as a departure. What is interesting is they went in with ground troops, they went with special operators, and the mission had some problems.
All right, Hans, thank you very much. We'll continue to follow the latest from the Pentagon on this story. It's a
Okay, let's go down to the juicy part. Officials say the first military raid carried out under President Donald Trump. Okay, we've been going to war with the people over there, okay? This is not like Donald Trump just threw them over there and everything. This is an ongoing thing. It's been going on since Obama. Okay. And things do get screwed up. We call that in the military a clusterfuck. Because things do go wrong. But anyways, 2 Americans were killed. Well, actually one, which is SEAL Team 6. Okay. The other one is the daughter of this guy, and I'm not going to try to say it, but it's the daughter of a New Mexico, which is in the United States, if anybody understands. New Mexico is here in the United States. He was born in New Mexico. Al Qaeda leader, which is second to Obama. We'll get down to it in a minute down here. Some old Bin Laden, whatever his name is, who himself was killed in an airstrike 5 years ago. Okay, he was killed in an airstrike 5 years ago. If the daughter is American, why is she back in the United States? That's because her mom is there too. But that's down here. We're going to get to it. Yes, the daughter was born in the United States, but her mother and father are Al Qaeda in this place where this raid was carried out, because that's where all the other family members are at. But remember, Donald Trump wants to make sure that Al Qaeda leaders do not be born here in the United States. That's what he's trying to stop right here. That's why he's venting and trying to find out if they're worthy of being here in the United States. Here you got a Al Qaeda leader that was born in New Mexico, hiding in the United States, and everybody's saying, well, there's no Al Qaeda leaders here in the United States. Right here is the proof, people, right here. Now, they're not saying any story about, NBC's not doing a story on New Mexico-born Al Qaeda leader's daughter. No. They can't have that. They got to make Trump look bad, don't they? Okay, let's go further down. Anyways, the special operation was to capture valuable intelligence. What they really wanted was some computer equipment, probably a laptop. Let me see. 3 Al Qaeda leaders were killed according to the U.S. thing. Okay. Now, there wasn't just a bunch of girls or women that was killed. There was leaders of the Al Qaeda. One military person. One girl that shouldn't be there because she's American. She should have been in the United States. But her mom took her over there. Okay. So, basically, the daughter, mom and dad is Al Qaeda. So that makes her Al Qaeda too. But let's go on. We have to go on. That's the father, I think, of the daughter. Okay, Trump's first strike. Let's see. Boots on the ground, Al Qaeda camp. Who we're fighting? Who's our enemy? Al Qaeda? Yeah. Everybody remembers Al Qaeda. Okay. Now, why is military fighting Al Qaeda if they're supposed to be our friends? Let them into the United States. Let them into the United States. We don't want Al Qaeda in the United States. You remember this guy right up here? He was born in New Mexico. Yeah. That's why we're doing background checks on people. Dumb Democrats. Okay, you see. The helicopter had a hard landing. Okay, it does happen. Usually, SEAL 6 will go in there and practice its landing before they get there. But sometimes things happen. Should the mission be called off? That was up to the leader of that mission. He didn't call it off. He said continue. Okay. Several SEALs got injured. One severely on a tilt rotor aircraft, which is a helicopter. Okay. After it was had a hard landing, they had to destroy it so nobody can get information on it. A SEAL was killed during the firefight on the ground. As non-combatants, including females. Hey, wherever there's going to be males, there's going to be females. Guys gotta have sex. Okay, let's go on. Okay, this guy was at a social event. He was interrupted. He went to go take care of business like he should. He didn't come back. Okay, fine, he didn't come back. Okay, they released and the name of the dead SEAL as Chief Petty Officer William Brian Owens. Let's see. He gave to our nation, which is good. The foreign duty, yeah, he's definitely novice standing in the military service, yeah. Okay. Senior military officers said that the 8-year-old, also known as Nora, was among the non-combatants killed in the raid. Okay, when you're doing a raid, sometimes there's going to be casualties of war. It's going to happen. But let's see why a lot of non-combatants also got hit. As a result of the deaths of several Yemen women, U.S. officials say some of the women who were killed, however, were combatants. Okay, they were armed women shooting guns that was hiding behind unarmed women and children. See how this happens? If you hide behind non-combatants when they're trying to get out a person that's shooting at them, there's going to be a casualty, people. You can't deviate from it sometimes. Anyways, they approached the Al Qaeda camp. Al Qaeda camp. Okay, where was these non-combatant women? Inside the Al Qaeda camp. Where was the little girl at? Inside the Al Qaeda camp. With her mother. With that guy that I told you up here. His brother was there, which is the daughter's uncle. Okay. The girl's grandfather, agricultural minister, told we see a different story, which they will usually tell different stories anyways. There's a little girl that was American that should have been here in the United States, but went with her mother and father, who were Al Qaeda. Her uncle, Al Qaeda. This is where her dad was from, Al Qaeda. Because Democrats are so stupid. Let me see. My granddaughter was staying for a while with her mother. See, her mother, because her mother's Al Qaeda. So when the attack came, they were sitting in the house. The bullet struck her in the neck. Let me see. Past midnight, the other children in the same house was killed. It could have happened. Because when there's gunfight, bullets go everywhere. Anyone that hasn't served in the military, well, people in the military already knows. Sometimes when you're shooting at something, sometimes things that you're not shooting at gets hit. But people that are Democrats that don't go into the service, they wouldn't know that. They just like to make up stories to make themselves look good. More like a bullying tactic. Okay, in another house killed everybody in it, including all the women. See, they always bring up the women because the guys are out is the target, but they always have to bring up the women, which they hide behind the women. They burn the house. There was assumption of a woman that was from Saudi Arabia who was with Al Qaeda. Okay, if you're Saudi Arabia, why are you with Al Qaeda? Okay. But see, they have to put it in from Saudi Arabia to try to get Saudi Arabia mad at us, which was the child's teacher. Let me see, the girl and mother had fled. Yemen capital, let me see, where they escaped heavy shelling. Well, we've been bombing the area for quite a bit, so that does make sense. Let me see, child mother. See, the brother-in-law right here. The brother-in-law was killed in the raid, and that's where the family lives, people. 14 militants died along with numbers of civilians. They killed the actual people that was armed. Let me see the calculation of the body count of the combatants and civilians as high as 59. So let's go on. Al Qaeda is probably the stronger in Yemen, and it is. U.S. have mounted an intense effort for the past 3 years to ship air. In other words, they've been attacking the area, which is true. Let's see. And they keep on going back to the girl's death. Okay. If she wasn't there, she wouldn't have got killed, people. It was the choice of her mother to take her there instead of keeping her safe in the United States. U.S. had killed the entire family, she said. Okay, it's not like they're going to go in there and say, oh, everybody go and be killed. No, they don't do that. It's usually because some guys hide behind women and stuff and keep shooting at the military people, and they're not wanting to be killed, so they're going to shoot back. Legal action. And then here's the thing. Well, the little girl, U.S. citizen, imposed no danger or anything for legal action to take place. Well, she's in a house full of combatant Al Qaeda. They're not worried about the little girl at the moment. They're worried about the guy that's shooting at them. You see, they have to keep pushing it. NBC News right here. Got to keep on pushing it to make Trump look bad. Okay, the girl who was born while her father, should say her father instead of his father, graduated student of the United States, moved to Yemen, and became Al Qaeda, which the United States understood that he was the leadership of Al Qaeda. And the guy that was also born here in the United States, in New Mexico, he continued to plot attacks intended to kill Americans. See right here? Come on, Democrats, read along. I know you guys are homeschooled. Come on. Get your lazy eyes reading down here. Put down the iPhones and stuff and start reading along. U.S. intelligence also believed that the girl's father was a potential successor to Osama bin Laden, who had been killed 6 months earlier, of the father. This wasn't his first child to be killed by U.S. forces. 2 weeks after the father was killed, I think, a 6-year-old son was killed, who was also struck by a drone strike. Because why? They're Al Qaeda. They're in an Al Qaeda stronghold. U.S. officials said the youngster was in the wrong place at the wrong time, which I agree. That he was with their, that he, should say that she was their intended target was the Al Qaeda leader. I didn't say NBC knows how to write that much. They make goofs in their stuff too. Yep. Anyway, let's see. And yes, they're going to use the little girl as propaganda. Democrats always do that. Even though the enemy, the terrorist groups have begun circulating photos of the child's killing of U.S. forces by the U.S. forces all over Arabian country, Muslims. They already got on online jihad media referring to the media as massacre, said U.S. troops have fired on women and children. See, this is how Muslims put everything. Fired on women and children in cold blood. Not that they killed Al Qaeda men. But see, that's how the people in our country, in the United States, that's how the media is now circulating everything. Propaganda. Oh, Trump's real bad. People, as U.S. citizens, are dying by Trump raids. See, this is propaganda right here from NBC News. Propaganda. They put Trump's name in with the little girl. They had to make it a pity cry type thing for, Trump. Trump's decision killed a little girl. Okay. For one, the SEAL team was practicing probably for 2 weeks before this happened. And Trump's just been in, let me see, 8 days, 9? Yeah. Today's 8 or 9 days. He's been in, okay? And they're already trying to pump it out like this is his fault. Like he commanded them to go over there and start killing. No. It's been going on for over 8 years, people. It started with Obama's administration. Trump just got in. He doesn't even know what's going on. He's trying to figure out everything right now. He's only been in a week. He has done more than any president in the United States before he got into office, and he still did more within a week that he's been in office. But see, you guys at NBC and everybody like to put out fake news about stuff and try and make him look bad. You gotta make him look bad so you guys can make your ratings go up. Your ratings are so low that you have to make up something to pump up your story so it gets people to look at your story. Yeah, that's real low, you people.